Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is HMGM, How to Model a Gold Mill in 27,000 Easy Steps. Haven't gotten a lot of work done on the model for various reasons over in the basement there, so today let's take another diversionary trip and answer the question, could you mine for dinosaurs? Well, it turns out that question was answered over in Fruita, Colorado more than 100 years ago, and the exhibit is now in Chicago at the Field Museum. What happened? What took place? Why did they use miners? Let's get those questions answered by actually going and visiting Dinosaur Hill near Fruita, Colorado. The town of Fruita, Colorado is one of 3 municipalities that define Colorado's Grand Valley. From the air, the valley floor is green with irrigated agriculture from the Colorado and Gunnison rivers which merge in Grand Junction. The valley, named for an earlier moniker of the Colorado River, includes a 50-mile swath of floodplain from Palisade to quite nearly the Utah border. More than 155,000 people live in the valley and surrounding environs bounded by Mesa County, although only about 13,000 are found in Fruita. Settlers first entered the area in the late 1800s, carried along from the east by rumors of gold and silver in both California and in Colorado's Rocky Mountain region. Some saw the Grand Valley as potential ranch land and began taking over plots. The settlers eventually pushed out the native Ute tribes, whose artifacts are still found today. Through irrigation, the valley was later turned into a statewide source of fruit production, as Fruita's name implies. Today, most fruit is grown in the Palisade area, and Fruita has shifted its focus to outdoor recreation. But there is another legacy attached to Fruita. Early ranchers were soon swapping stories about large fossilized bones that had turned up in their fields. By 1899, the rumors of a new kind of buried wealth had reached Elmer Riggs, a Chicago paleontologist employed by the city's museum. But his goal was not gold or silver. His employer wanted dinosaurs. Riggs proved his abilities under mentorship in South Dakota and Nebraska, and the trustees of Chicago's newly established Field Museum gave him funding to lead his first team in 1899. He then explored parts of the Morrison Formation in Wyoming and Colorado, identifying the first known specimen of Torvosaurus teneri. Riggs then set his sights on the Grand Valley the following year, and his assistant, H.W. Menke, found the first known Brachiosaurus on what is now called Riggs Hill in the Redlands community. Riggs also noted promising fossil specimens in a sedimentary mound just south of Fruita. In 1901, he returned with his field crew and began digging. What Riggs had spotted in 1900 was revealed as about 80% of a fossilized Apatosaurus skeleton from the tail to the front of the rib cage. It was shipped back to Chicago for study, then put on display in 1908. Although the remainder was not assembled until 1958 from other finds, Riggs' portion was the most complete single specimen found up to that time. However, portions of the fossil were buried at significant depths below the surface of the hill. Rather than excavate a giant pit, he employed conventional mining techniques for an unconventional application. Today, Dinosaur Hill and Riggs' Uexpected mine are open for tourist access as a BLM interpretive site. Even without the interpretive signs, the site's history is hinted everywhere. In addition to the distinctive weathering of sedimentary layers, the perimeter of the hill is peppered with fragments of petrified wood. The BLM has developed an accessible trail from the parking area to the peak of the hill. It circles the stable northwest face and offers visitors of varying abilities the opportunity to see portions of Dinosaur Hill's distinct erosion features and fragile high desert ecosystem. At the crest of the trail, the Grand Valley's geography can be viewed from a point about 250 feet above the Colorado River. Toward the north lies the Colorado River and beyond it, the town of Fruita. The remainder of the Grand Valley, capped by the Book Cliffs Formation, rolls out beyond. To the south, the distinctive features of Colorado National Monument rise above the floodplain. The Grand Mesa is then visible to the east. For those who can continue on rougher terrain, the trail continues across the rim of the eroding south face of Dinosaur Hill and circles down into a deep draw. Here on the south side of Dinosaur Hill, erosion carries the sedimentary formations crumb by crumb into the adjacent draw and down to the Colorado River. In time, it has repeatedly exposed treasures sought after by both geologists and paleontologists. And it is here that we catch our first view of Elmer Riggs' Uexpected mine. Mines and miners were abundant in Colorado at the beginning of the 20th century. When Riggs found his Apatosaurus vertebrae lined up on a slope outside a tall mound, he went and hired a few locals to chase the remainder of the skeleton back into the hill using a shallow incline shaft. The structure was briefly reopened by the Museum of Western Colorado in the 1990s. Discarded tools from the Riggs expedition were found, along with a few more fossil pieces the Riggs team had missed. Today, with continuing erosion, the inner entrance is filled with mud, while some cribbing to support the back of the adit has become exposed to the outside world. Since the sedimentary layers would form a poor structure for any kind of tunnel, our assumption is that the conditions inside would be similar to a placer mine. The hill's final offering is found in the erosion debris west of the mine portal. This area of Dinosaur Hill is variously located on a museum-owned parcel and unincorporated county property, and not on the BLM land where artifact removal is federally restricted. Many of the Grand Valley's amateur rockhounds visit here now and then to see what has washed down from the hills above. The most common finds are fragments of petrified wood. For those who participate in geocaching, the Grand Valley is also rich with modern artifacts. That concludes our tour of Dinosaur Hill and explains why it was the location of Elmer Riggs' unexpected mine. Riggs was seeking an Apatosaurus rather than gold or coal, but it was the right time and place to find freelance miners working in Colorado. Riggs put their skills to use, and here in the Grand Valley's arid climate, the entrance of that unique mine is still standing today. Hey everyone, thanks for joining us again today. I hope you found that interesting. The Grand Valley is actually a great place to visit. I've had relatives there for a while. That and work have both given me opportunities to see what there is to do over there. Pictured briefly in our video was quite a bit of Colorado National Monument actually, because it's right there behind Dinosaur Hill. But then also the Grand Mesa and the Book Cliffs offer opportunities for hiking, fishing, some off-road recreation, OHV type of stuff. And then in Grand Junction itself, many years they'll have a big air show there. Sometimes the Blue Angels or the Thunderbirds show up for that. And of course, Colorado's local source of fresh fruit when it is in season. But just to wrap up our theme, mines. A lot of the Grand Valley mining was primarily people going after coal seams. They're kind of outside the area where the Colorado's mineral belt offers gold, silver, and things like that. Although also, the Morrison Formation, which produces these dinosaurs, has also been a source of uranium and some related elements in Colorado. Probably won't be exploring any of those anytime soon, but it's interesting to see mining technology used for an unconventional use like paleontology. So, hopefully be back again with another episode sometime soon. Now that the weather's going to be getting colder again, there might be some opportunities to work on our model building exercise again. I sure hope so, because we're very close to being able to start the wood framing. Hope to see you again on our channel soon. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next time. Has anyone seen my phone?